Good morning. It's Rebecca and my aquarium that I should probably clean. It's getting some algae here. So I wanted to talk to you guys about the threat of the childless cat lady. You know, I actually didn't sleep very well last night. Normally I'm a really good sleeper. It's like one of my great talents. But, you know, I'm a human being, and as much as I'm like, I have a really good life and I feel good about how things are going, you know, I still really miss my kids sometimes, and sometimes it just hits me, and yeah, it can be really hard. But there's this weird thing that's been kind of going on the whole way, where you have to understand, I was a mom. Like, I have 5 kids. I homeschooled. Being a mom was the first thing I ever did that just felt natural to me. Like, I just knew what to do. It was easy. I enjoyed it. You know, and I would never, ever in a million years have left my kids, even though I really needed to get away from this crazy person. You know, but I couldn't leave my kids. I couldn't do it without, or I couldn't make it with them because I didn't have any support. But now I'm like, okay, awesome. I'm free. I'm finally free. You know, from everybody. I'm free. There's, if somebody's in my life, it's because I let them in my life. And if they're a problem, then I'll let them out of my life. You know, it's my doing now. I'm doing well. But one of even having this house and being by myself, I'm seeing one of the things that it's doing for me is it's really just letting me get settled into my own being, my own rhythms, my own, just being able to be by myself and be at peace and feel good and be content and all of that. And it really hit me, it hits me sometimes why there is this negative, disparaging contempt towards the proverbial childless cat lady. And it really is because if a woman has no one else that she needs to be looking out for other than herself, not only is life very simple and easy, you know, if you do your work, if you don't do your work, you could, I don't know, drink yourself to death or something, and that'd be bad. But if you do your work, you can have this very easy life. And the thing is, it's not even that I wouldn't want to share my life with someone. It's just that if you are so used to and so grounded in just being yourself and being at ease and having peace, then anybody who you let into your world who doesn't vibe with that, it's just jarring. What? Why are you in my space? You know? And, you know, I talked yesterday about incels and how, unfortunately, you know, we do have a subset of young men, of just men generally, who've been socialized to engage with women in ways that are really dehumanizing and manipulative and dishonest and just kind of disregard their well-being, all while demanding that they be thanked and praised for it, you know? And it's and if you go on to you know, certain parts of the internet, there are whole discussions about how you should find a very young woman so that you can mold and shape her, as if God didn't already put a design into her that she's supposed to be living out and expressing, you know, what? Why would you think that was okay? But they know that if you get grounded in your, even if it's just an instinctive level, they know that if you get really grounded in being comfortable with yourself and who you are, that it's going to be like, you're not going to put up with the sort of person who is manipulative and dishonest and wants to control you and wants to undermine you and sabotage you and tell you who you are and how you're supposed to be and all that like is just absolute utter nonsense to a person who has spent time, just with themselves in one way or another, either because they were raised well and they were given the opportunity to be who they were, from a young age and were, are just naturally grounded in that, or because, they do, somebody like me who does their work and is able to take advantage of the times that they're not dealing with trauma and drama and ridiculousness to settle into who they are. Like, I was never I'm not somebody who like went from one bad relationship to another. This was my bad luck. I got caught. But I'm at peace. I don't want somebody who doesn't know how to treat me around me. Why would I want that? And it's insane that rather than figuring out, okay, what am I doing wrong? How could I do this better? How can I, as a man, become a whole entire human being all by myself so that I don't need to be like manipulating people around me in order to navigate life and manage things, like a man who is really well grounded in who he is, a man who is like, has a sense of purpose, a man who's done his work. He doesn't need to do that. He's not looking for a woman who he can manipulate into being who he wants her to be. He's looking for a woman who already is who he wants her to, somebody who he would want to be with, things are so twisted. They're so twisted. Like, I don't know how we got so deep into this idea that, somehow a woman simply being who she is, who God created her to be, is a problem to be avoided or a threat to hang over your head. You better be careful. If you're not careful, you won't have tons of people to take care of. What? Nobody does anything for the mother. Like, what are you talking about? The threat? You'll be a childless cat lady. You'll be alone. Do you know how many mothers are alone? Like, it's just absurd. Anyways. So yeah, I mean, it is a blessing for me to be able to get time just to be me by myself without having to, kind of make room for other people. And I'm not because I'm selfish or anything, but just because it's good to get a chance to kind of like baseline. This is who I am, how I feel, how I operate. And I will be, and it definitely makes me much more sensitive to things that are they're not in alignment with that. They're not, like somebody who is, super negative is going to be very jarring for me to be around. And it's not something I'm going to want to deal with very much. And for the person who is really negative to, instead of, being like, gosh, she doesn't seem so unhappy, maybe I don't need to be unhappy, they're going to figure out why there's something wrong with me and they need to get control of it. It's just, I don't get it. Why not be a better person? Why not be like, literally, we're in a Christian culture. The message of Jesus is he takes away your sins. He takes away your shame. I am shameless because Jesus took away all my shame, which is not everyone's favorite thing about me, but oh well, so sad, so bad. Guess what? You're not perfect, but there's no shame in it because you're a human being. Like, you don't have to be ashamed of it. You just have to deal with it and fix it and address it, So yeah, anyways, it is lovely for, especially if you are a younger woman who is being gaslit about this crap, it is actually very lovely to simply exist by yourself without having responsibilities for other people. And I would strongly recommend to young women to spend some time really just being yourself, so that when you allow things into your life, when you choose things, if you're going to have a child, you're going to get into a relationship, whatever it is, you have some sense of like, is this actually compatible with me? And rather than this whole thing that we do to young women where it's like, you're somehow incomplete, or, there's this path you're supposed to be on. And, it's just, no, it's like a gauntlet you're running. Like, stay free and clear until you are old enough to know what you should and shouldn't let into your life, like, don't fall for the obstacles. I have a few young women in my life who I'm like, no, yay, you made it through. You're not pregnant. Good job. Because it takes time to grow. It takes time to gain wisdom. It takes time to figure out what you want. And that is why terrible people want to find 17-year-old girls, so they can interrupt that process and do whatever the hell they think they're doing. I don't know. They're psycho. Who knows why psychos do the things the psychos do? They do them because they are psycho. That's all I know. So anyways, you guys have a great day. Again, I'm going to keep pitching. I have room for a project, a website build, branding, e-commerce, that I'd like to get going before the end of the year. If you or someone you know is in need of such services, you can find the link to my Urban Earth Mama is my business name. You can find that link. Go visit my website. Go visit my YouTube. I'm sure you have nothing else to do today. So, all right. I'll talk to you guys again soon. Love you. Bye.